The following podcast is a member of the Pokecasters Network. Pokecasters Network, supporting Pokemon content creators, their shows, and the community of Pokemon fans. To find out more, check out PokecastersNetwork.com or find us on Twitter and Facebook.
Here's a bad take I'll put in here. I don't think this is going on the final recording because we don't have a big enough sports audience. Timberwolves are making the Western Conference Finals next year. That's a bad take.
Yeah, there are bad takes, and then there are just straight up lies.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Not a Scratch, the only podcast that believes that Scratch has an overpowered move. I am your host, your PM, your DM, your GM, Anirudh himself, and with me here, manually changing the colors on their Rubik's Cube.
It's me, Muhammad, because everyone knows the way that you actually solve a Rubik's Cube is not by actually twisting the cube in some series of steps to get the pieces back in their original intended place, but the undefeated, undisputed sticker method.
It's best, especially when, as I hold my Rubik's Cube right now, it doesn't have stickers. So, ideal.
So is your cube always solved or never solved?
Well, no. So instead of the sticker method, I have the piece method, so I can break the pieces off and put it back on. And as long as you don't look too closely, then it's solved. So
that's pretty solid. That's pretty solid.
Because the tiles, I guess, is the best way to describe it. I can peel those off and put them back on, generally speaking.
Okay.
Actually, that's only for I never even realized that. That's only for the center. The other pieces are all broken up. All right, so never mind. I can't actually do this cube isn't tournament eligible.
But if your cube had no stickers on it, right? And it was all if there was no colors, right? Then it would just be Schrodinger's Rubik's Cube.
Is it solved? Is it not solved? Nobody knows.
Speaking of things nobody knows.
This story, am I right? Bro,
that was not where I was going.
That's what I got.
That's not where I was going at all.
I don't know what's.
I thought we had something else we needed to cover before we got there, but I guess not.
What did we have to cover?
Well,
all right, I guess nothing. Oh wait, no, I do know something.
There it is. Wow,
I did have an update. No, sorry.
Took you a minute.
Sorry, I was thinking of the story was gonna happen, then remembered the thing in the process. Did you know that Nationals game that Mansoor's at is still going on?
Of course it is.
They're in the what are they in? The I don't even know how many. Hold up, he was texting me a while ago. They're in the 184th inning.
What's the score?
Hold up, I gotta scroll back up. He was complaining about lack of popcorn, which I get it. After 184 innings, you'd think they'd get a refill or something like that for free.
See, but here's the thing. I don't know if I'd want popcorn because popcorn is, on the saltier side. It might, dry up the mouth a little bit,
Well, at this point, now that it's turned from a baseball game to Fallout, we gotta figure out how to figure this out from here.
The Washington Nationals are actually running a subathon right now. An uncapped subathon is what it is.
Oh,
but the sub isn't subscribing. It's substituting in players whose arms have not fallen off yet. That's what they're doing.
Okay, and the score right now is... all right, so last text I got was about 3 hours ago. It was the 187th, actually, is what I got the update. I didn't see that text. 187th inning. Bottom of the 187th. Nationals are playing against the Washingtons. I don't know what that means. I don't know enough about baseball. But Nationals are playing against the Washingtons, and the score right now, this can't be right. It can't be right.
Is it 2-2?
It's a 0-0 game.
Oh my goodness, it's 0.
They get runners on second base at a certain point, don't they? I don't know a lot about baseball, but this is the whole rule of a runner starting at
that's one of the newfangled rules. Yeah, you're right.
You tell me they still steal bases twice or something. I don't know.
I mean, I guess if we're just talking about the laws of probability, right? This is technically in the realm of possibility, but man, this is a
You would think news networks would be talking about it, right? ESPN hasn't talked about it.
I don't know. We've got bigger things to worry about in the world of sports.
Right. KD's getting traded to the Warriors. I'm calling it now. This episode's being recorded before the decision has been made. Probably.
That take will age so incredibly poorly.
Probably.
Because either it's going to be incredibly wrong or we're all going to be incredibly sad.
Oh, man. KD gets traded to the Warriors. All right, you know what? I'm going to call my shot right here to guarantee that it's wrong. Because I don't want any chance of this actually happening. KD gets traded to the Warriors for Steph, Clay, Jordan Poole, and 3 second-round picks.
No, see, the problem is the Nets are trying to rebuild. They don't want Steph or Clay.
That's why I'm trying to make this absolutely incorrect. As wrong as possible. 3 second-round picks. Draymond.
It's just the Warriors trading for KD is already just not going to happen.
Right. But in the infinitesimal chance that actually happens, I want it to be for a package that makes even less sense. What?
I think you missed a syllable.
I'm not sure which word I was even saying at that point.
Infinitesimal. You missed a syllable.
Oh, did I say it's infinitesimal? I'm not sure how to say the word.
Yeah, I think you said infinitesimal.
All right, whatever.
Which that sounds like a word that I don't want to know what it means.
All right, let's in the pool of options. Shout out Jordan Poole. In the pool of options that are available to be selected here, I want this to be the one that is not even in that pool, not even in this. I want the hydrogen and oxygen atoms to be on the opposite side of the universe. That's how far away of this drop of water looking. Never mind. This analogy is going nowhere. I'm breaking things in the process. Let's just move on. Speaking of things that don't make any sense, like this analogy, this show turns out people are getting kidnapped. That's my transition.
Yeah, that does kind of sum up everything that happened last time.
That's it. That's your recap.
That does kind of sum up everything that happened.
Anything that could go wrong did go wrong.
It was a sequence of how many nat ones? I think we had 5 nat ones over the course of the episode that have landed us in a really bad place.
Yeah, I think yes, that's it.
So maybe instead of the recap this time, this is an idea that just popped into my head. Feel free to veto it, but maybe instead of the recap, right? We just say, and this is weird because this is halfway between editorial note but also content, so I have no idea if like this whole spiel I'm saying is gonna make it into the cut. But basically, we had 5 nat ones. That's the recap. Now, where are we? Where have those led us? Those have led us to Zendoran being permanently toxic poison, but now we were able to acquire a Petroscar for Zendoran. Manaphy is missing in all of this, and we have no real... Well, we actually now have some sort of a lead. But Manaphy is missing. All of the members of the Battle Hammers, aside from Ford, are also missing. And it turns out the same group is behind both of these things. We know who the group are. We know where they are going. But that's all stuff that we found out in the last 5 minutes of the episode. Basically, our entire world crumbled apart because we rolled 5 nat ones, and that's what happened last time.
Yep.
I don't. Feel free to add anything you want to that. But I feel like it adequately sums up the episode to say we rolled 5 nat ones and here we are.
Basically, I mean, I don't think there was anything in the beginning of the episode. I think we just kind of jumped into chaos. If there was,
there was nothing at the beginning. At the beginning of the episode, it was like, it's a normal day, and then the first nat one happened, and then the second nat one happened, and then more nat ones happened as we were trying to resolve things that happened with the first couple nat ones, and we're here.
Yep. I'm gonna throw this out there for future me. I don't know if you actually mentioned this in your recap. I was busy beating up my microphone.
I have 2 images in my head of you beating up your microphone.
Really, it was just me muting and having a loud conversation with my mic, saying like, "Please don't hit me in the head again." Like,
oh no! But like, wait, is your mic on a boom now?
Yeah, it's on a boom at this moment.
Okay, all right. That slightly changes the images I had in my head because I thought you still had the desktop set up. In which case, I was like, "Are you punching your mic or are you spanking your mic?
No.
What's happening?"
At this point, I'm just having a conversation. Like, listen, buddy. Today's not a great day for you. I understand that, but like, let's figure this out, man. We
could be friends here. We could be friends.
You and I have this special thing going right now, and I I know I've been recording
Hey,
a
look,
lot with you, but
hey, microphone. Hey, look,
Hey,
listen to me. Listen to me. We're cut from the same cloth, you and I. You know, we could be friends. You know, we doesn't have to go this way. But no, you insist. So now I'm asking. I'm just asking.
you know the wildest part is that this entire intro thing is about we have half an hour of not a scratch stuff and about 20 minutes of not a scratch stuff. And I know for a fact that as I see this and realize that the episode has been recording for 50 minutes and we don't start, I'm just going to like do a massive like butcher's knife, slam it into this meat, and then just slide everything away.
Now here's the question though. Will the folks on our Patreon get all of this scrap that's on the cutting room floor? And by scrap, I mean half of the raw recording.
There are levels that will get the majority of the stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Little plug. You're welcome.
Yeah. Did I even say the idea? I didn't even say the idea. Future me. Hey, listen. Look, I know you're not gonna like this because future me, I know you pretty well. You don't like it when I promote ideas to you, but why don't you? You got the previous episode. It's all recorded and everything like that. It even got the music. So why don't you just take a supercut of all of the Nat 1s, smush them together, and pop it in right here?
Oh my goodness, yes.
Yo, me in September when I read through this is about to hate me. But why don't we just take a supercut of that and just see what happens? Maybe it's not even 5. It might have been 7. Who knows?
I know that it was at least 4 because I rolled at least 3 and you rolled at least 1.
Yeah, so just throw a supercut. It doesn't matter if they're like plot related or just battle related or anything in between. Just kind of toss them all in here, and meanwhile, present day Muhammad and I will kind of just wait it out.
All right, one last random question before you slap me upside the head for diverting us again. You said future you doesn't like when you give editorial notes. Does future you like when I give editorial notes? It's like I've weaned off of doing them, but if future you likes it, I'll keep doing it.
Future me likes editorial notes that are relatively simple. What I just requested was not simple.
Well, it's simple if slightly nearer in the future you remembers this note.
That's true. If I remember this note as
while
I'm editing
the previous episode, then yes. But if slightly nearer in the future you does not remember that you left this note for future you, then future you is going to be real annoyed. Versus if slightly nearer in the future you remembers this note, even though you hadn't heard the note, then future you will be like, thanks slightly nearer in the future me, or I guess slightly in the past me, for preparing for the thing that past me is telling me to do.
Yep. So that, for everyone at home.
How did I get through that?
No, see, that is evidence that not only do you understand the future and the past concepts that we've been discussing in real life, but also he's just summarized all of Arc 5. There you go, right there. So far. Future me and the past me was dealing with timeline A me and B me. And B me and AB were being ABBA, ABBA, singing.
Mamma Mia.
There we go. Okay, hey, guess what? Do you want to do an episode?
Sure. While we dive in, I'm going to take off my hoodie because I was cold and now I'm hot.
Okay, great. Without further ado, everyone, I'm going to be honest. At this point, I know that this is actually in the recording. I don't know how much of the previous stuff you heard. If you heard a lot of it, apologies. And if you didn't hear any of it, thankfully, you don't have to worry about it. Unless you do, in which case, very, very sorry. So, without further ado, everyone, officially, finally, let us dive on in. So unfortunately, I can't use the music that I'm thinking of right now in this because I don't have access to the remix of it, and the actual music, of course, is copyrighted. But right now is just any high pace Ace Attorney song is going on right now. Like any of the high pace ones that are like, you know, the cases like going down, or any of the pursuit themes or something like that. For the Ace Attorney fans at home, you'll understand these themes are like dun 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 dun. My parents have no idea what's going on. Anyway, so
having never played the Ace Attorney games, that was incredibly similar to the tune that was in my head, and I'm kind of spooked, but also I guess tropes.
Yeah. Yeah. Any of the like pursuit themes or like, you know, things are getting high pace and everything like that. As we go into the actual game. Let's do that finally. We zoom in, and right now people are packing up out of the Battlehammer's squadron. Who's here with us? Kyle obviously is here, otherwise this entire episode wouldn't happen. So, Kyle, you're here. Who else is with us?
Kyle is here. Zendoran is here, armed with a Petroscarf and staying alive. At this point, Zendoran is like in full health, but if Zendoran gets detached from this Petroscarf, it is not good. We also have Ford with us because Kyle had told Ford we'll reconvene at HQ when we're about to go look for the guild, and then we brought in a very sickly looking Zendoran. And also with us is Adam, because Kyle called in reinforcements because we rolled enough nat ones that Kyle was like, I cannot deal with all this. Help.
Right. Sorry, I was adjusting my desk. Also, I actually remembered. We finally figured out how the deck works. That was a thing that took an hour last time.
Yes, that's probably slightly important. That should be cut back into the recap. But yeah, we've already used the deck today, but
that's true. The deck can only be used once a day, and it's basically like a reference guide. If you call a legendary, they can answer a question. That's how it's working for now. We'll find out if that changes over time. It is not a tarot deck. We don't, in this universe, tarot decks are banned except we're dealing with specific psychic types.
Yeah.
Also,
can we assume that as we set out, everyone in the squad is fully healthy? Because as we were healing up Zendoran.
Yes, at this point, everybody is max health, max belly, max clarity, whatever you want to go with.
Sweet. Thank you, because Kyle was slightly hurting.
That is the situation currently, as we are moving over to the mines, is effectively where we're going. In the south, I always do the same thing where I move my mouth from side to side as I spell we to know which direction I'm going, like the west-east thing. So I'm always like doing this weird thing where like my mouth moves to the left and then right, just to know, yeah, that's a west-east. Okay. So as we move on the town to the southeast, we approach the mountains and the mines, and this is where the Battlehammers were early morning before chaos ensued. There's some hints here. There's a certain team of bad folks that are potentially causing all of this mischief and problem.
Adam ID'd the team. It was a Weavile.
Mm-hmm.
Was it an Abomasnow? And was it a
Arbok?
Oh, it was an Arbok.
And then the last one is Drapion.
A Drapion. And what were they called? Were they Team AWD?
AWD.
Team all-wheel drive, baby. Let's go.
You'll notice this team, yeah, is a team. It's fun. It's a joy. And also, Zendoran notified you that Drapion was the one that attacked, caused this poisoning issue that is plaguing him currently.
Drapion presumably has Manaphy, but there is a caveat that Drapion just was just mugging Zendoran and didn't actually know that there is a small Pokemon inside the bag.
Right. So it might have. Drapion just goes, "My bad, man. I didn't mean to steal a kid. Okay, I was just trying to rob you.
Hey! I'm just a petty thief. I ain't no
just
kidnapper.
I don't do those things. I'm just a thief. Okay.
Listen, we got a code here with Team All-Wheel Drive.
Sure, we're going all-wheel drive. That's the new team name. I'm changing the name.
Oh no, why?
We're going for it. This team is the only team in the universe that has cars. That's it. This team, Team All-Wheel Drive. They're a bad organization, a bad exploration team. That's sole goal is to invent the car.
That's all their sole goal.
That's it. They just want a car. That's it. Can we blame them?
I mean, to be fair, we have trains, we have boats.
Right, they're like, what if we have Tiny Train?
What if we have a train that isn't restricted to tracks?
Wild. Okay, let's get before we start straying away from the topic again. All right, so you guys are heading towards the mountains, the mines, and everything like that. At this point, I did have a clock. It is the afternoon, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes. If I remember correctly, we said it's around 3.
That is correct, yep. It is July 30th at 3 p.m.
I'm just going to throw this out there because this is kind of wild. Mm-hmm. The arbitrary date picked for the start of the journey was around the arbitrary date that the first episode was set to release.
Mm-hmm.
And it's weird that now, like, in recording, we are, like, inching around to, like, lapping the timeline of this world twice.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
it's wild.
Like, the journey started, like, late May, and when we recorded that, it was, like, April of 2020. And now, as we record this, it's July of 2022, and we are in end of July of the same year. This is wild.
We've done 5 seasons, 80 episodes, give or take a couple, and that's been over 2 months.
It's been slightly over 2 months. It's been
granted, 20 of those episodes were in an alternate timeline where time didn't really matter in the grand scheme of things.
I mean,
but
yes, yeah, but like this is fun, and like the initial campaign is set to take a year. Dear Lord,
it's just dawning on me. It's just dawning on me how much I have to plan now. Anyway,
I have to do a little bit of life planning around the show real quick.
Basically. All right. So at this point, though, you guys are approaching the mines. Do you have any questions for anybody with you here? Sendoran, who is oddly more serious than you've ever seen him before. He's usually the jovial, like upbeat person. Not this time. Bouncing around like a Wigglytuff does, very seriously. Adam, mentally going through his Rolodex. Forward, looking confused as ever. I believe it's just you 4, correct?
It is just us 4.
Gotcha.
And Adam did very much give us the 411 on Team AWD as we were putting the pieces together and as we left. So Kyle doesn't have any real outstanding questions, right? About anything that's going on.
Sure.
Kyle has clarified that, like, at this point for Kyle, it's clear that they have the guild members, they have Zendoran's bag, they have Manaphy, but they don't know that Manaphy exists. So in Kyle's mind, everything is fine. There's no real reason to panic. These 4 can take those 3. It's fine. We're good. So that's where we're at. And yes, I said these 4 can take those 3, even though Kyle and Zendoran both die at the touch of a poison type.
True. Frankly, you die regardless of who's going. That's Weavile is also part ice, so.
Yeah.
So Kyle's out there for moral support at this point.
We don't have a counter for the Weavile, but you know what? Like, what other choice do we have? We're moving.
Do you have a counter for the Weavile?
We don't. Adam literally cannot touch it, and I guess Zendoran is the counter for the Weavile.
Yeah,
I guess.
just fairy types, right?
Yeah.
Let me confirm this.
But Zendoran I don't think has any fairy type moves or attacking moves.
Zendoran has play rough. That's a fairy type move.
Perfect.
Where
all right.
He plays rough.
Okay, so Zendoran and Adam are just gonna kind of carry this, and Kyle and Ford are gonna offer support.
Like, yeah.
That's gonna be how this goes.
Great. Sounds like a plan to me.
So yeah, I think Kyle, like, as they're going, is like, one, keeping an eye out for things in case, like, you know, they're like, they have someone like either, like, you know, securing the perimeter of wherever they're set up, or any clues as to where they could be, blah blah blah. Kyle's just, you know, being vigilant, while also in the back of his mind just like walking through a game plan potentially.
Cool. You guys approach the mountains, and sure enough, it looks like the day is winding down. There's a lot of Pokemon coming out of the mountains that are working here. You know, your Timbers and your trying to think of any other Pokemon, and all of them just disappeared in my head. Your Golems and your Timbers and your Sableyes and all those folks that are just kind of like, yep, we've done our job. Them jewels and /coal / other stuff. Let's go back to town. Everybody heading home for the day. Now the time, I think, at this point is somewhere around 4-ish. Not that it took you an hour to get there, but an hour to have your conversation and then leave and get over there.
Sure.
So as we reach 4-ish, the sun is not setting, obviously. It's still pretty hot in the sky, but you can tell it's starting to pop down. Ford has now taken control of the group, being like, hey, we went this way, and leads you down like a side entrance to one of the mines. This doesn't look like it's been used a lot, though it does have some sort of symbol. I think the Battlehammer symbol is listed on here. Like, this is the Battlehammer's entrance that we go through. Everybody else go through the main entrance. This is for Explorer members only. At this, Ford turns to you guys and just goes, right, so we went through here. And warning, of course, I should probably mention this. So in there, it's rather dark. that was something that was obviously off-putting at first because we have normally lights in there. It's dark, so be sure to keep your eyes on things. Okay, make sure that you don't get lost. That's about it, really.
Everyone stick with a buddy.
Are we doing a buddy system? Are we doing a buddy system? I'm asking you. If you want to have that
no,
be a strategy.
I was just joking.
Okay, no buddy system. All right.
No buddy system. The entire team is sticking together here. That's how this goes.
True. All right. So without further ado, you enter into the mines, and now you're here. I need you immediately to roll for me a something. I can't see what button to press.
A something as in a D20 or a something as in a something?
Something as in a D20.
Survey says
I need a
3.
specific. Hold up. That's probably not going to do it, regardless of what I was going to ask you to roll. So.
I mean, yeah, 3. My highest modifier is a 2. So.
Yeah, 3 plus 2. I doubt that's going to be it. But even if it was a 3 plus 2, that's not ideal. Okay, so regardless of what, I was going to make you roll something for perception purposes.
Well, hey! If I didn't know what I was rolling, does the roll count?
Had you rolled a nat 20, would you have re-rolled it?
See, that's
My
interesting.
voice.
No. That's interesting. That's interesting because I feel like I could have been convinced.
The roll counts. I know.
Yeah, I know.
The roll.
I know.
We can actually think about this conversation. What?
I achieved my goal. I made you think.
Great. Perception. As soon as you walk in, like, I don't know if that caught on.
It absolutely did.
Just darkness immediately envelops everything. To the point where you're almost kind of concerned, like, this should not be this dark, right? And you turn around and realize that the door is closed.
Yeah.
Not ideal. You look ahead, you feel ahead, and you don't feel anyone near you. It's almost as if everybody just vanished.
That's slightly concerning.
So, Kyle, you are on your own now. You have whatever's on your bag, whatever's on your persons. How do you proceed? There is the way back, hypothetically. You haven't walked too far in.
Yeah.
I have? What is the order that you walked in? I'm going to make the assumption that you walked in like person A, person B, person C, person D in a line. What would the order have been?
I mean, Ford was the one leading the way,
Right.
Ford was the one directing traffic. I feel like Ford would have been the first to walk in.
Gotcha. Okay, so Ford first, then.
I feel like the group. I feel like of the 3 recruits, they would have come to the understanding that Zendoran is not the one bringing up the rear here, right?
Sure.
Like Zendoran should be I feel like Zendoran should have been like in the middle of those 3, right?
Mm-hmm.
Considering Zendoran just got beat up, and Adam and Kyle are kind of more senior members of the recruits.
Sure.
As weird as that is to say. So I don't know whether it would. I feel like it would be Adam bringing up the rear.
And you're in second?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's me logicking my way through that.
Gotcha.
Logicking my way through things that I'm making up anyways.
Okay, so in that case, you walk in, door closes behind you, and all of a sudden you feel as though nobody's in front of you. Do you pause? Do you turn around? Do you just jump in the air? Do you throw something? I don't know. What is your game plan at this very moment?
So it feels like I've lost Ford ahead of... excuse me.
Let's try that again. I started talking and the yawn just snuck up on me. So it feels like I've lost track of Ford ahead of me, right?
That is safe to say, yes.
Okay. Does it feel like I've lost track of the people behind me too, or no?
See, it's weird because I'm trying to ask you what you want to do at this very instantaneous moment. Based on that instantaneous moment, it feels as though you are by yourself.
Oh, okay. It's just I don't know.
Yeah, you're not sure. I mean, one option you have on the table is just to stand still, spread out as much as you can, and hope that a friend of yours bumps into you. At which point you haven't lost them, or some other method that I can't think of off the top of my head.
So it's pitch black.
Pitch black.
And Ford is just gone in front of me.
Yeah, if you were to, you can sense that much. There is no character in front of you.
There's no one leading the way anymore. All right.
You are the leader at this point, it feels like.
All right, I think Kyle's gonna slow down and like come to a stop real quick, and kind of turn and see if he's got his recruits behind him.
Okay, you pause. You just take a full stop.
Yeah.
All right, this is a question for you, and this is purely for aesthetics purposes. Should I roll my dice on the table, where you can hear it, or on like a softer thing that it's not as loud and you probably won't hear it? Do you want to know that I'm rolling dice when I'm rolling dice?
Well, I think it's fair to say that because I could hear that roll.
I haven't rolled yet. I just picked the dice up, but
then maybe I actually just heard sounds of construction outside. Okay. In that case, I think it's fair to say that I think it's fair to say that I don't have the jurisdiction here in terms of
okay. Because I'm trying to think
the way we've been doing this whole time is you could have been rolling and we wouldn't know.
Right.
And I feel like for the consistency's sake, we should keep it that way.
Okay.
If you want to reveal roles to me, I am not opposed.
Okay. Because this is the one downside of not having run a in-person campaign ever, let alone before this one, is that I'm not sure the unwritten rule or something like that of like, oh, am I supposed to show you that I've rolled a die at random points? Because they normally have like the giant wall in front of them, right?
No, it's like it's fully up to people's discretion. Like it's fully up to discretion.
All right.
My take on it is it's up to discretion.
Gotcha. And then a second question that matters
as long as it doesn't seem like you are intentionally trying to sabotage and like TPK at every turn. Like,
oh, look at that, 14 nat 20s.
Yeah.
All right, that's cool. Okay, just wanted to, because I realized I'd never even asked either of you guys, both Mansoor and you, that in the past. But all right, now that we got that,
he cares
a little bit.
I was gonna say, or at least he's making it seem like he kind of cares.
A question that's slightly more impactful. Got the green die and the purple die as I always do. One of them is Adam, one of them is Sandoran. Which one is which?
I feel like we established that Sandoran gets the green die, right?
I think we have. So Sandoran's green, Adam is purple?
Yeah.
Okay. You pause, just waiting, almost crossing your fingers, I think, hoping that somebody bumps into you. And there is no noise behind you.
Cool. Okay.
I'm not panicked at all.
Yeah, this isn't terrifying. So as far as I can tell, I'm completely on my own.
Yep, about 20 yards into this.
Yeah, like 10 steps into this, or maybe not 10 steps. This is 20 yards is a little deeper than 10 steps, but yeah.
You've been walking for about maybe at max 35, 40 seconds. I don't know.
Yeah, have not been going long, and I'm already just on my own.
Yep.
This is fine.
This is fine.
I think then the next step would be, I don't know if I'd want to actually call out loud. I don't know if I'd want to do that. That seems like such a risky endeavor. But do I have a choice? I don't know if it's worth trying to call out, because we could alert,
I mean, I will say this. While Pokemon were leaving, there are still some Pokemon that theoretically work in the mines, right? Worst case scenario, a bad guy shows up and beats the brakes off of you. But
for me in my mind right now, worst case scenario is a bad guy who didn't know we're here knows we're here now.
Oh, that too. Yeah.
That was my thinking of worst case scenario.
Oh wait, you would think I would recognize those things. Yeah, sure. Yeah. That's yeah.
Thanks for that little bit of intel. I don't have any items that really help me out here. All right. This is gonna be a weird pedantics question.
Mm-hmm.
We established that the golden mask glows, right? We've established this.
We have established that the golden mask glows, yes.
Does it only glow when in like active recruitment mode?
Oh, that's a good question.
Because I don't know if we've established that.
I think it glows brightly when in the recruit mode. So I don't think
it does not glow at all when it's not being used in like active recruitment.
Yeah,
effort.
I think it has to be used in order for it to glow. Otherwise, it's just a shiny object.
It's just shiny and it reflects light that's already there, light. Of which there is none.
I think that was how it was in the past. Because in the previous instances, especially when Ralph was using it a lot, he was using it like openly in a forest where there's a lot of light showing, or even in other instances. And at those points, it wasn't glowing; it was just being shiny.
Yeah. Like every use of it has been. There have been no uses of it in like complete darkness. Like the darkest it's been has been like nighttime with like moonlight.
Right.
Like there's always been some ambient light to reflect off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't think it would be a flashlight in that sort of respect.
Yeah, and Kyle does not have any moves or any items that can create light.
No, so far as I know, your flashlight has been Manaphy using Tail Glow.
Exactly. Now, I'm gonna ask a question, and it's a stupid question, so I'm expecting a stupid answer.
Go for it.
What happens if I use detect outside of battle?
If you use detect outside of battle,
if I use detect outside of a battle situation, because like I've used quick attack outside of a battle situation before, and that seems like fairly obvious. I move very fast.
you would prepare yourself for an attack. No one could get an attack of opportunity on you is effectively what would happen.
Okay.
But
Okay.
the same thing applies as well. The more that you stack it,
The less effective it is.
the less effective it is. And again, the idea behind that, I guess, if you were constantly preparing for an attack all the time, at a certain point, your senses would wear down, right? If you're constantly on it,
you cannot keep your guard up at 100%
forever.
for
Exactly.
an extended period of time. Yeah.
Exactly. So think about it almost as if, what is it? I think in D&D rounds are supposed to be like 6 seconds or something along those lines.
I think
Think of it-
every turn is 10 seconds.
Something like that, right? So something to the similar sort would happen here. If you were to use detect now for the next X number of for the next turn, which I guess depending on how we apply this could be a couple of minutes maybe. If you're perfectly like you're looking at everything. And then if you want to use detect again, you can, but then there's less likely of a chance that you're looking for everything. And then at a certain point,
Yeah.
either your nerves calm down or something calms down and it just fails, at which point if somebody were to attack you, they would be able to hit.
Yeah, okay.
So that is the answer that I got for you.
I think in that case, then, I feel like I have no real option here apart to kind of just call out and see if a teammate of mine is around. And the teammate that I call out that would raise the least suspicion would be Forward. But I wouldn't call him by Forward. I'd call him by his code name, which I forget
Okay.
what code name we gave him.
Sierra, I believe.
Is he Sierra? Yeah. So I'd just be like, hey, I think Kyle would just whisper out, just like, Sierra, are you here?
I'm leaving the pause there so I can put the echo. As
That whisper came
Um,
out like really raspy, I realized, but nah.
Kyle, after not speaking for about 43 hours, is like, Sierra. A or B?
A.
Okay.
I mean B. I mean A.
Which one are we going with?
I mean B, unless B is bad, in which case, A.
Sure. That sounds like A.
Yeah, A.
Okay. So you whisper, Sierra, are you there? And just no noise.
No noise.
Until a certain point. You just hear the echo, like, bounce off the walls and just fade out. And then you hear some, like, footsteps. Tiny footsteps, I think is the best way to describe them. As bouncing up towards you. And I'm trying to do this as best as I can without, just like, something like that. Bouncing up towards you is Sierra.
Nice.
And Sandoran as well.
Cool.
Sierra's Forward Sierra the Badoo. You're like, did you? We found another. Great. I'm glad that you're safe, right? Are you good?
Kyle just nods.
Okay,
and then
that's good.
Kyle just looks like questioningly at the two, as in just like, what's going on here?
Sandoran, he's gonna speak for the first time today. Looks fine. Maybe a bit like puzzled at best. It's just like, yeah. So, yeah. As soon as we walked in, it felt as though we were each going in different directions. Luckily, Forwards. Yeah, I'm still confused about how that works. Forward and I were heading. We quickly crossed paths and stuck together. And I guess your path is in the same boat, or at least in voice distance. But I'm not sure where Adam went.
I think Kyle is. I think what we're gonna do is Kyle's just gonna close his eyes and try and hit the psychic telephone real quick here.
Okay, the telephone. I'm gonna need you to roll Arcana.
Yeah. 15 plus 1. Ring, ring.
Ring, 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 ring. Hello.
Kyle's just gonna be like, Adam, where are you?
I've got no idea. I was just walking in a straight line and then out of nowhere it just cut up. Wait a minute. Oh no. Well, okay, so you're gonna have to find me. Or I'm gonna have to find you, I think. Somehow, I don't know how, but somehow this has turned into a mystery dungeon.
Okay.
That's why the floor plan effectively changed.
Right when we walked in, right?
Right. That's generally how it works, right?
Something like that.
Mhm.
I think this is one where Kyle would like defer to Adam on this. I think Kyle would ask, do you think it's better if we, because I have the other two with me. You think it's
Oh, that's
better?
good. Okay.
You think it's better if we just keep forging through, or should we backtrack? Meet up at the start. Meet up at the entrance. We can find our way there. You can teleport there, and we all move as a group.
No, the problem with the mystery dungeon is that I won't be able to teleport. I can't teleport to people. I can only teleport to places, and the mystery dungeon place itself, the entrance is constantly shifting, right? So it's going to be hard, even if you head to the entrance where you think you started at. That might not be where the entrance is. Does that make sense? Like if I popped outside of the dungeon and walked in, I'd be walking in and popping into a different location.
Fair enough.
Right.
All right.
I think the easiest solution we have is to reach the exit. Best case scenario, we meet up at the same time. If either of us gets there and we don't notice the other person, wait for a few minutes. And if neither of us are able to find the other, continue forward, because the later it gets into night, the more dangerous the Pokemon out here can get. So that's my recommendation.
All right. Sounds good.
Okay.
We'll keep you posted.
Great. Cool. See you at the exit.
Kyle, Kyle, I think instinctually nods and then remembers it's the phone and just hangs up.
So Kyle, looks like you've got a plan, at least. You just nodded. I'm not sure. I'm assuming that's a good sign.
I think Kyle is just gonna. I think Kyle's gonna tell the other two. Ford, I feel like you would know this, but we're in a dungeon, so let's get moving here.
They both look at each other, kind of just shrug.
We'll meet up with Adam.
They both look at each other, just kind of shrug. And for the first time, I think in 16 arcs, I'm going to use a dungeon.
Oh my goodness! Are we playing everyone's favorite game?
We're playing everyone's favorite game.
Roll that die.
Da-da-da-da,
Are we
da-da-da-da-da-da.
using the sheet or are we not using the sheet?
We are. I'm just going to explain things, I think is the best way to do it, because
Okay.
that was a bit convoluted.
We'll paint word pictures.
We'll paint word pictures. You're going to be using a D8.
Oh, this is a long boy.
This is a long dungeon.
Big dungeon. All right.
I have
This is
a
the first
starting
time I'm
point.
playing roll that die with actual die. Or dice.
That is true. I don't think we played this since Arc 3 is a guess.
That sounds about right because yeah, Arc 3 was before a whole lot of moving happened for a whole lot of people.
Right. Okay, so everyone at home that probably for some reason maybe used the summary episodes to catch up here. So Roll That Die is a fan favorite game here at Not a Scratch, where through
Is
the
it a
power
fan
of-
favorite or is it just an us favorite?
I think it's an us favorite. I don't think people at home actually like the game.
Yeah,
but,
I was gonna say I don't think I've seen any real
Well, to be fair,
love for play that die
That's true.
or
That's
roll
true.
that die.
Actually, that's a good point. Everybody at home, if you enjoy the game Roll That Die, please let us know.
Yeah,
if
no,
you're
we
an
want to
elf-
know if you like this game.
Yeah, maybe we'll change it. Maybe that we'll have a home
If you
edition. or something.
if you don't like this game strongly, please let us know. If you like this game strongly, please let us know.
Very true.
Our egos are in a weird middle ground. We need them to either be quashed or elevated beyond belief.
Yep. I had no other comments, actually, now that I think about it. I thought I was going to add something there. So Roll That Die is a game where through the power of Excel and conditional formatting, that's right, we're going to shout out conditional formatting, something we haven't done since Arc 1, I think. Through the power of Excel and conditional formatting, a randomly generated mystery dungeon has been created, and I am going to use that as sort of a basis of building out this dungeon that we have here. So there's a couple of different options.
Oh my goodness, dude. The words through the power of Excel and conditional formatting just hit a wave of nostalgia there. Dear Lord. That was a throwback and a half.
So the dungeon has been created. So the options here, so we'll be rolling die to see how far we move. Based on the location that we land at, either one of three things will happen basically as we navigate through this dungeon. One of the three things will generally happen. Either A, the most likely option, nothing happens. Second most likely option is, I think based on the math that I have in here, an encounter, at which point they play a wild Pokemon battle. Or option number C, the least likely I think overall, is an item. So either monies or item will be generated at that spot, at which point they pick it up and then applaud each other. That is basically that. The dungeon created here, the encounters are theoretically available, and we're going to be rolling d8s. The goal, of course, get through the dungeon. The faster you get through it, the faster everyone is happy. The end.
The sooner we get out, the better it is.
Yepity doodles. Hello, this is Anirudh, the GM, PM, DM of Not a Scratch, and I'm going to be honest, it has been a while since I have spoken into a microphone. Thank you so much for listening to this episode. As always, episodes come out weekly, so be sure to follow, subscribe, do all those important things you ought to do when supporting a podcast. If you've enjoyed the episode and want to support us in any way, shape, or form that you can, the best way to do so is to share us with your friends. Share us with anybody that's about to get Scarlet and Violet, because those games are coming out in 2 days, I think? Not even, technically speaking. So if you have a friend that has Scarlet and Violet on their mind, toss them this podcast, because we have Pokemon too. That's our close relationship with a brand new game that I know very little about. Also, leave us a review on your podcasting platform. Reviews bring new people into our community and also give us advice on what we can improve on going forward. You can follow us on Twitter at NotAScratchCast or email us at notascratchcast@gmail.com if you have any cool ideas to add to the podcast or you just want to reach out to us. We've got a Discord that has constant giveaways happening. You can join to help build that Not a Scratch community. And we've got a website you can check out at www.notascratchcast.com. Website has access to our episodes, of course, but it's also got an exclusive merch page and art page where we post both commissioned and fan art. If you want your art to be on that page or promoted on our Twitter or anything like that, send it our way. We're happy to do so. Our website and merch update over time, so stay tuned. We got a lot of songs in this one that we want to thank, and especially since last episode it was in the description, this time we're going to go step by step. We want to thank LeCheck City for the songs Kirby's Dream Land, the Lo-Fi Remix, Legendary Beast Remix version 3, Mount Pyre Summit Remix, Pokemon Tower Remix version 2, Hoenn Weather Trio Remix, Deoxys Battle Remix, and Pokemon Reborn Champion Battle Theme. That song in particular, I think, has quickly risen to become one of my favorites. We also want to thank Tabletop Audio for the songs Arabesque, Mountain Pass, Dark Angel, and Underground Lake. We also want to shout out our Patreon members. We at Not a Scratch do have a Patreon that helps us support the show, provide for all the different resources that we do, whether it's editing equipment or other sort of materials and things like that, where you can get amazing extra benefits regarding the show and its future. Early access to episodes, extra content, all sorts of cool stuff is posted on the Patreon, and now that I have recovered from a cough that has been existing for quite literally multiple months, I think, finally recovered there, that's going to start having more things posted as well. So if you want to join, you can check out the link in the description down below, and regardless of what tier you join, you'll be recognized during the show. Thank you so much to all of our Patreon members: Ginny, Ursa93, Eli, Damon Liger, and Simon Pello-Joaquin. For more information, check out the links in the episode descriptions or contact us on Discord or Twitter. If you're interested in having a promo on the show for your podcast, I promise we're going to start doing this again. It's just been kind of wonky these past couple of weeks. We'd love to help. All you have to do is send us an email or contact us on Twitter and Discord, and we'd be happy to discuss more. Our promo for this week is another show that I do, the Adoran Cast, which is another area that I can do other TTRPG stuff, and the current campaign is Operation E-Clock, combining aspects of Pokemon, Legend of Zelda, and a bunch of interesting ideas, including the idea of having the same character, but different players playing that same character. We're going through a cycle right now. Those episodes are being released weekly as well, so be sure to check that out if you haven't already. It is just a click away, again, down in the description down below. Thanks so much for listening. It is time to get back into the episode. Without further ado, let's go. goal is straightforward. We've entered in the dungeon at a specific point. The goal is to exit a dungeon at the exit point. There is a specific exit in place. I am busy trying to make this organized right here. Okie doke. Without further ado, you can go ahead and roll that d8 to move on ahead.
Here we go. Roll the 3.
A 3. Okay, so it's dawning on me that I want to rotate this. So I took a screenshot of it because if I make any adjustments on my Excel sheet itself, then it changes the dungeon, which is great. But now I need to like turn this around. You know what? Whatever. Let's mentally figure this out. So you enter into the dungeon. The dungeon officially started way back when, but we're just going to assume for safety's sake that it starts
This is
up
the
here.
first point where I have knowledge of this being a dungeon.
Correct. At which point, you are. I gotta be able to turn this some way, right? Sure. Okay. So you enter into the dungeon. You're entering in a corner is the best way to describe it.
Okay.
Okay. So your right hand is touching a wall, and in front of you is a wall. Behind you is theoretically the entrance, exit, whatever you want to call it. But I'm gonna, for our safety's sake, we're gonna say that's a wall as well.
Okay.
Okay. So you have one option, which is to turn to the left and start walking.
Let's get moving.
Okay. So starting with the step that you are on right now. So this is step 1. Which is the one that's in the corner. That's 1. You walk 1 step forward. You walk another step forward, and that's your 3. Correct?
Yep.
Great. This is an item spot. That's
Oh.
I'm gonna
1.
need you to roll me a D10.
I rolled a 1. That's either incredibly great or incredibly awful.
It's interesting. You find 10 poke.
Hey, free money. We'll take it.
Free money indeed.
Does everyone get 10 poke?
You get 10 poke.
Okay.
I'm not keeping track of it, but everybody gets 10 poke. In this case, you're getting 10 poke because you're the only character that matters.
Wow, that's a take.
It's you, Susie, and maybe Snow, and that's about it, really.
All right, fair enough.
Especially these days. I mean, Ralph was there.
Ralph doesn't exist in this timeline, or Ralph does exist, but isn't a.
Ralph's just a kid in this timeline.
Yeah, Ralph's just a kid who likes baseball.
Just vibing at this time.
Yeah.
Great. So at that point, go ahead and roll again.
6. We're moving. Now we're cooking with gas, partner.
Great. You take 1 step forward. You can continue going straight or take a right.
I like the feeling of taking a right here.
Okay, you take a right. This is step 2. Step 3. At step 3, you open up and you see that you are in a room.
Okay.
And this room is 6 steps by 4 steps.
And where am I on this? In this room? I'm on the bottom row.
You are on the bottom row in the 3rd step from the left.
And it's 6 wide and 4 deep?
It is 6. It's 4 wide and then 6 tall, I guess, is the best way to describe it.
Okay. So this room extends out in front of me.
Yes. This is step number 3 that you have just taken. You can take diagonals if you want.
I can take diagonals.
You can take
diagonals. Rules applies. There are exits to this room, I presume.
Yes, the exit is in the top right corner.
Going up, going right.
So you would have to go 6 up and 1 to the right to reach the exit. At which point you would take another step to be officially out of the room.
Well, but it goes out to the right from the top right corner, right?
Yes, it goes out to the right.
Okay, cool. In that case, I am here. Let's just take 3 steps forward. Let's just do that.
Okay, step 4, step 5, step 6.
Mm-hmm.
So as of right now, you need to take 2 more steps forward and you reach the wall.
And then 2 steps more and I'm in the hole.
2 steps more and you're in the hall, correct. This spot is a nothing spot.
Fun. Let's keep moving.
Great, go ahead and roll again.
Oh, another 6. We'd love to see it.
All right, great. How are you reaching this hallway, I guess?
I am gonna take a step forward, then turn diagonally, then go to the hallway.
So
what I'm gonna do.
Step forward, that's 1. Diagonal, you're in that top corner.
Mm-hmm.
That's step 2. Step 3 into the hallway, okay? You walk forward 1 step, and that you are in a corner, effectively. There is a wall in front of you and a wall to the right. The exit behind you, a pathway to the left.
Okay, so we're moving on up, I guess.
Right. Step 4, step 5. How many was it?
I rolled another 6.
Step 6. Great. You are standing at the step. In front of you is another room, size unknown as of yet.
There's a room out in front of me.
in front of you. You are not in the room as of yet.
Okay. I guess we're gonna enter the room. On this next roll.
Before you do that, it's another item.
Hey!
Go ahead and
Let's
roll
see
a D10 for me.
Dude, thank you for just filling my pocket.
Hey, you're the one rolling here.
It's a 3.
It's a 3.
What's a
Three's an
3?
actual-
What's a 3?
3 is an actual item.
Is it something I can stack in my bag, or do I have to?
Depends on if you have one of these. It is a cherry berry.
I don't have one of those, but I have space in the bag, so we'll just hang on to that for now. Could be useful. That Arbok might use glare.
Maybe. So cherry berry added to the bag.
Mm-hmm.
Okie doke. Cool. Go ahead and roll again.
It's time to roll that die. Another one.
A 1 or
No, another 6.
another 6?
Sorry,
It's
I realize that's confusing. No, another one, as in another 6.
very fun. Let's see if I do this. Sorry about that. I'm cleaning up my dungeon right here. Okay, so you take 1 step forward.
Mm-hmm.
You are now in a 3 wide, 7 tall room right now.
Am I in one of the bottom corners, or
You are
am
in the bottom left corner.
All right.
There look to be 2 potential exits out of this.
Okay.
From the spot that you are in right now, if you go up 1, 2, 3 spots, you can take a left and continue walking. Alternatively, in the opposite side of the room, you would go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spots up, 1 to the right, and then if you turn to the left, you'd be looking into a
hall?
potential other exit.
Okay. So I can either keep going all the way across the room into the across to like the other corner of the room, basically,
Basically,
or there's a hallway along this wall that I can take.
correct.
And this is my first step out of 6.
You have taken 1 step so far.
You know what? Let's get moving out of this room. I'm gonna take the hallway out to the left here.
You're
So
gonna
I
take
guess
the-
3. What's that? 3 step forward, 1 step left.
So you've taken 1. You take 1, 2, 3 more forward.
Mhm.
So you've gone up 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yes.
Take a left.
Mhm.
5, 6.
Yeah.
That's the pause there.
Is there anything here?
There is. It's another item. I can't believe it. All right, so I'm gonna
items,
do-
the most rare things in dungeons. Me hits items every time.
Basically. I need you to roll me a D6.
Oh, a D6. Oh, I had already rolled my D10 in anticipation. You're running out of items to give me. I rolled a 1 on the D10, like when I full started, and then on the D6 I just rolled a 1 again. Nice, we'll take it.
Oh, this is
Give
ironic.
me the money.
This is ironic. It's a stun seed.
Oh, the stun seed?
It is. Yes.
Huh. I don't know if that's worth getting rid of anything for, to be honest. Can I cheat? Is Ford holding anything?
Ford is not holding anything.
Can I just give it to Ford?
Sure.
All right, Ford has it now. He can do with it.
Thanks, man. This is Boom's voice. I'm not sure why I'm using this, but sure.
Ford can do with it what he wishes.
Thanks a lot. And now I have a stun seed. I've always wanted one of these, we'll say, is his line.
Does Ford know Stun Spore?
Does Ford know stun spore? All right, where is
Because
it?
it would be really funny if he already used Stun Spore anyways.
Where's Ford's stat block? Oh, I'm an idiot. I folded his stat block. That makes sense. Ford does know stun spore. That's actually funny.
Nice. Saving him some energy there.
Yeah, he can just chuck it instead. I think it's a better it's a significantly better accuracy because it's rolling a seeds accuracy roll as opposed to moves. Because his moves, I think is what is it? Accuracy of 11. Jeez.
Oh yikes! Is Stun Spore 70?
I think so. It's pretty bad. I know that.
Yeah. Wow.
Okie doke, but we have now reached that point. Go ahead and roll again.
Let's keep moving. I only rolled a 3.
All right, you take 1 step forward.
Yep.
You take 1 step forward.
Mm-hmm.
So that's 2 steps now. You can turn to the left or the right.
You know what? We're gonna go to the right.
You turn to the right. You take that 3rd step. That's it. You're in a corner right now. To your left, as you stare at this wall right now, you're staring. Okay, yeah. Let me just make sure I've got this right. So you turn to the right.
I walked into a wall.
You walk into a wall. On your right is a wall. In front of you is a wall. To your left is a room that opens up into an unknown amount of space.
Well, I guess we're going into this room.
Okay, go ahead and roll again.
Well, a 2. I get to see what's in the room.
That is true. You walk in the first step. You are currently in a 4x4 square.
And
that
I'm in the
opens
bottom
up on the
right
opposite
corner
side.
of it.
You are in the bottom left corner of the room.
Wait, what?
Yeah, is that right? That's right, yeah. You would be in the bottom left corner of the room.
Huh? I turned left and I'm in the bottom left?
Yep.
Wait, what?
Yeah, so you would... Okay, so you turn to the right, you hit that wall, you turn to the left, and you'd be...
Oh, like
in
bottom
the-
left, like from the direction I'm facing.
Yeah, from the direction you're facing, yes.
Okay, yeah.
All of this has been going off of the direction that you've been facing.
Yeah, okay, no, yeah. I needed to tilt my head 90 degrees, but yep, okay. And where's the way out of this room?
Opposite side of the room. It is...
It's a ways away.
It is right from where you are right now. You would have to go up 1, 2, 3, and then right 1, and that would be the exit there. On that left, like then you would turn left and head out.
Oh, like it's one over from directly across from me.
Correct. Yes.
Not opposite corner of the room.
Correct.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I guess I'll just take my diagonal step here.
You take a diagonal step. So now, if you were to walk 2 in front, you would be looking at the exit, and then one more step would take the exit. Yes. This is a nothing step.
Okay. Just keep moving. But I'm taking 1 step forward.
You take 1 step forward, nothing happens. The crowd behind you is slowly anticipating danger. But so far, all that's happened is just you've gotten some cash and a couple of items.
Yeah. And also, it's felt like there hasn't been a time limit, though I'm sure you're keeping track of how long it's taking.
The time limit is when the episode recording ends. There's no...
Oh, okay, cool. No
danger
pressure.
No pressure.
No pressure. But just for kicks and for the meme, I'll roll another 6.
Another 6?
Yeah.
Okay,
I'll
you
take
1
2
step
steps
forward.
and get out of the room.
Yeah, 1 step forward. Second step, you're now in this hallway. Third step, you go forward. Fourth step, you go forward. Fifth step, you go forward. Sixth step, you go forward. It has been one singular hallway all this time. Though it looks like you're about to head into a... You have 2 options here. You can either head straight into a room, or you can head to the left, which opens up another path of sorts.
I think we're gonna go ahead and head into this room here, is what I think we're gonna do.
Okie doke. Go ahead and roll again.
A 7.
A 7. Interesting. Okie doke.
So I'll take a step forward into the room.
You take 1 step forward into this room. This room is extremely long and extremely narrow.
Oh.
It is... You can only take 1 more step forward from where you are right now.
Okay.
The room is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 wide. From where you are right now, you're in the bottom row, 3rd from the right. In the top right corner, so you would go diagonal to the right, diagonal upright, over 1 more step, and then you would see to your left another pathway out. Or
Wait,
on the
you said
complete...
third? You said 3rd from the right?
Yeah, you open in, you are 3rd from the right.
So the room extends out to my left?
The room extends out to your left as you're looking at this.
But that makes no sense. There was a hallway out to my left behind me, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Right. That would turn into that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to say there's a narrow wall in between these two. This is kind of like a half step or whatever.
Okay. All right.
This is weird building. I can't conceptualize this without doing like some sort of half step thing. But yeah,
right.
this room extends out to the
This room goes out to the right, and there's an exit. Where?
There are 2 exits. One is in the top right corner. So this is the one that's closest to you.
Uh-huh.
And then there's another exit that if you were to turn left and just go all the way there, on the bottom left corner is an exit as well.
Oh, I'm 3rd from the right, not 3rd from the left. Okay. So what you're telling me is I'm
You're either a diagonal one.
I'm
two-
either
you're either-
about to head into a dead end or the exit, or I'm gonna need to go in a circle in this dungeon.
Correct.
Oh boy. Okay. Hold on. Let me work on my cartography skills.
This final dungeon is looking like a dungeon on the bright side on my hand, but on the downside is that it looks like I threw up a bunch of paint and just decided like, well, let's see what happens here.
And the exits are either there's the one up here on the top right of like if I look forward and to the right, there in that corner of the room is an exit going which way?
From where you are at about 2 o'clock, there is, if you're staring straight, and straight is 12 o'clock, at about 2 o'clock-ish, diagonal and another step or two, is an exit that looks like it is heading from where you're standing up.
Okay.
And then there is an exit in the bottom left-hand corner, so you have to turn to your left and then look out a ways. It looks like it is exiting
along the same wall, going back the way I came.
Yep, it looks like it is exiting down.
Okay. I'm gonna hope against all hope that the exit near me is the one I want to take. So I've still got 6 steps.
You've got a lot, yeah.
If I take a diagonal step, and then I turn to the right and I go forward, and then I turn to the left, I'm facing the exit, right?
You're facing this pathway, yes.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, you do that and you exit the dungeon. I don't know how we did it, but we did it.
And that's just the exit?
That's the exit. That's it.
Nice!
That worked significantly better than I thought it would.
I mean, it kind of helps when I'm literally taking notes of everything as I go. This was just my gut instinct of this is either the way out or it's a dead end.
I mean, that is true. In this original map, that is like a way out or a dead end, the way that I have it here.
I mean, when you see what I have drawn out, you'll see why my gut instinct told me that.
But that was exciting. I'm glad to see that actually worked out pretty decently. I'm gonna save this for everyone that's watching.
I just sent you a screenshot of my interpretation of the map. I think there's like a pixel off somewhere, but it's pretty close to what you described.
That's basically it. Yeah. If I look at this picture here and I turn, so I'm looking at this on my phone. If I turn my phone 90 degrees to the left, so the volume button's on top, that's basically how my map looks.
Yeah, that last hallway threw me for a little bit of a loop, but other than that, it was like, yeah.
It's not accurate, actually speaking. I think I'm verbally made a mistake when explaining things, because technically this would be like a hallway is here and on the other side, but which doesn't make a lot of sense. But ultimately,
I mean, there are some points where I didn't fill in like some information.
Yeah,
like,
no, what you got there is accurate to what I've got here, except with me having more stuff, obviously.
Dude, we could absolutely play Keep Talking and Nobody Explodes and be perfectly fine.
Yeah, honestly. New stream idea. There we go. Forget the sword and shield stuff that we're doing right now.
High key. I've been thinking about getting the game anyways.
What episode is this? This is Arc 5 EP9 dungeon map. Great. I'm saving this here.
He is saving this one for his records. He's proud of this one.
I'm proud of this one. I'm gonna post this and your drawing on Patreon. It'll be free for everyone to notice. It'll just have the spoiler tag there. So check that out if you want to see what we were looking at. Hopefully I'll rotate everything properly. Anyway, so you get through this entire dungeon flawlessly. There's no enemies. You don't understand. There's a lot of red spots there that you could have easily landed on, and you just gotta like yoink, bounce around each of them.
Listen, we don't have time for this. The child is in danger, and I guess the rest of the battle hammers too.
Yeah, but also the child. Yeah, you get through things calmly, and you reach the exit. This is where the exit is supposed to be. There's no other exit in this dungeon. That's how mystery dungeons work. And we're not doing multiple floors, because otherwise this would take years to finish. We'd still be back in Arc 1 at this rate if there were multiple floors and dungeons. Absolutely. But here we are. We're at the exit. Ford's excited. Sindoran's excited.
Is Adam excited?
Adam's not here.
Uh-oh. I guess what we're going to do is...
what you want to do.
So we've exited. Is there... First off...
technically speaking, like the exit is like... I don't know, if there's a door in front of you, you're kind of just like hand on the handle.
Yeah.
Just waiting
to open. Well, my thinking was, first, when we get to the end of this, is there any sign of Adam? Second, when we get to this, is there any sign of the all-wheel drive?
Go ahead and make a investigation check.
18 plus 1 is 19. Tell me what you know. Tell me what you know.
No problem. I was gonna make if you got a mix, I was gonna make you choose between Adam and AWD, but
nope, tell me everything.
We got both. All right. I got good news and bad news. When it comes to Adam, there's no sign of anything suggesting that Adam has been here.
Okay.
When it comes to AWD, however, there is some signs. You can tell that a few of the rocks on the walls look like claws have run through them.
So they've been here and they went out this way, is what you're telling me.
They have been here based on general like footstep awareness. You go in high key into like the footprint media game and Explorers Mystery Dungeon games. Not only have they been here, they walked out this exit. So we are following their path.
Okay, we're on their tail.
Correct.
So, I think the game plan is, the old game plan of we have reached the exit. We'll give it a couple minutes. If Adam doesn't show up, we'll wait a little bit. If Adam doesn't show up, I'll give him a quick ring, let him know what the deal is, and we're moving.
Great. I need you to roll me. Survival.
Survival.
That's the closest I can get to what I'm trying to do here, which
Is this
it doesn't really apply. It's something in this beauty section. That's the overall gist of it.
I actually passed the beauty roll? I rolled an
That's
18?
awesome.
That's wild.
Cool. You just vibing, waiting patiently, and you beat my little check that I had here. So after a couple of minutes, just as you're like, all right, let's get going, you see Adam walking through. You see Adam walking through the dungeon, looking like he just got he fell into a fireplace. Just dust all over him.
Just Kyle looks at him, one eyebrow raised.
The wild Carkle here are frustrated. Let's go with that. Anyway, you can see as he's talking, you see dust coming out of his mouth.
Yeah, there's all kinds of soot and ash just falling off of him.
Anyway, he kind of just shakes himself a bit to try to get most of the dust off. It's semi-effective. Anyway, everyone good? Everyone safe? All cool and collected?
Kyle nods.
Sindoran and Ford kind of give a couple of thumbs up. Badoo giving thumbs up. Sure, why not?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know it works.
It finds a way.
All right. All right, let's do this before I get sick.
Kyle nods to the door.
As Adam's still dusting this off, Sindoran pulls out one of his paintbrushes that's dry and is kind of wiping off some of the dust on the back. As you guys enter in to this second part, the part of the dungeon that isn't the dungeon. You open
the boss fight room.
The boss fight room, exactly. You open up into a cavern. This cavern, I guess, is the best way to describe it. The color scheme is incredibly different. So the previous dungeon so far, I've been thinking of this as real dirt rock-like.
Yeah,
it is brown with different shades of other browns, very rocky. You walk in
maybe the
here,
occasional gemstone here and there.
Hey, you see a couple. It looks like this has been mined out for the most part.
Yeah.
You see a few that are either when you in the previous section, you've been seeing a few that are not impressive enough to take, not impressive enough to mine. They're not useful in any way. Maybe it's some things that are just kind of pretty and that's it. And then there's a few sections that they put away specifically for these are wild Pokemon exclusive. We have a deal with the folks here at the Mystery Dungeon. They won't charge the town if we don't attack these specific areas. So we won't go for these specific areas. And there are different patches that you've seen near the items, for example.
We can open up a whole world of corporate versus local dealings in the world of this mining, and if Steelforge City can begin to claim eminent domain over parts of this mine.
Which is funny because
we can open up a whole can of worms here,
and we're not going to. Which is funny because Mystery Dungeon. The idea behind the Mystery Dungeon is that the Pokemon that live there are getting corrupted, and yet here we're no, listen, we're corrupted, but also them jewels though. We got to have a conversation about this.
Exactly.
But you open up into this cavern. This cavern is very different. For one, the colors of the rocks and everything almost seem purple. Based off of the light that's shining through different crystals. Speaking of, there's a bunch of crystals here. All sorts of different colors shining. These look like your stereotypical, what am I thinking of? The rupees in Zelda type of crystals. They look pristine, and they're all sorts of different colors. There's green and blue and pink and purple and all sorts of colors that are creating different things. The light in this room seems to be shining as well. There seems to be little pockets of light that are coming through in one way or another in the distance that are just flowing through each of these crystals that have just lit up this entire room. So lots of crystals, lots of light based off of these crystals, and then finally, as you enter in, you see across the way a giant, and when I say giant, I mean this is like the size of Adam, giant gemstone.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It is huge. I want to make sure I'm right about this before I actually say things properly. Yeah, it is. So it is basically, the best way to describe this is a pink diamond.
A giant pink diamond?
It is a giant pink diamond that is the size of Adam.
That is kind of wild.
A giant pink atom, the size of Adam, that looks like it's like stuck in the wall, basically.
Okay. Is there anything else in this room beyond all of these gems and crystals?
More rocks and stuff like that. There are pathways to the left and to the right that just seemingly go on infinitely from where you're standing right now.
Yeah, but there's no bag or no Pokemon,
There's no other Pokemon here besides you four.
and there's no bag.
No bag,
Oh,
no signs of life, nothing. And you just walk in and then just see a bunch of fascinating crystals and then that giant gemstone. Sindoran's eyes go wide. Ford is like spinning around in circles like, we've just gotten rich, like we done made it, bro.
I think Ford
Adam-
is slightly missing the point, but okay.
Yeah, well, Ford's a youngin. Ford's not done this sort of thing before.
Ford's supposed to be older than me.
Ford's a youngin in the business. How's that? And then Adam just kind of looks around real puzzled, I guess is the best way to describe it.
I think Kyle's gonna look up at Adam like questioningly because clearly the other two are just seeing dollar signs, but Adam seems to know something's up.
Well, Ford is seeing dollar signs. Sindoran's certainly sketching out this diamond, being the book writer that he is. Adam looks puzzled and then starts looking like everywhere except the diamond. Looking genuinely confused, like what is going on?
I think Kyle's just gonna like very questioningly look at Adam until Adam explains what he's thinking.
Well, okay, sort of confused, right? You saw the steps, right? This is where they went.
Kyle slowly nods.
So where are they? I'm going to ask you to do whatever you feel like to explore this area. That's pick your role. It's up to you what you want to do.
Well, I think the first thing that Kyle was gonna check out was, you said there were two paths that seemed to go just kind of far, right? That seemed to go just deeper into the mines. So I think the first thing Kyle's gonna do is just gonna inspect like the entryway of each of those to see if anyone has like.
Well, they go
recently gone
deeper
down.
into this cavern. They aren't like hallways or anything. They are like open areas that just continue on going forward.
Okay, so I think Kyle's gonna like try and like inspect the ground to see if like people have tread along either of those branches of this cavern.
Go ahead and give me a. This would be technically like a nature check.
That's beauty, right?
That's smart.
Oh, that's smart. Oh, bless. All right, 10 plus 1. Whew.
One thing pops into your head, and what pops into your head doesn't make any sense. But as you stray off this path, you kind of have to like. I don't even know. As you walk into it, I guess all of you have been standing away from the diamond on the other side of the cavern. But as you walk forward, trying to just like begin looking to the left or to the right, one thing pops into your mind. This is the only thing that really pops in your mind. It's just confusing. Your feet are wet.
My feet are wet, but there is no water on the ground.
Your feet are wet. There's no water on the ground. There are in the far distance on each side. It feels like there are small pockets where it looks like light exists, especially to your left.
Especially to the left.
Especially to the left, it looks like okay. There's probably like another entrance out that way. Is your guess? To your right, there's like little pockets. Maybe it's coming from up top. But to your left, especially, it's like oh, there's a lot of light in that direction. But the only thing that's popping to your mind beyond that is the fact that your feet are currently wet.
My feet are okay. See, I'm torn between let's move the entire group and let's move the entire group out of here versus
There's gotta be something more in this room.
I think Kyle's gonna kind of wave people over to the pathway on the left and like point down the hall at like the fact that there is light coming from there.
And again, and it's I hesitate to say it's a hallway. It's like an open space. It's like if you walked what's the best way to describe this? All right, this is going to be weird, but this is going to make sense, I think, in my head. You walk out a soccer game, when you think of like professional fields, you walk out of the locker room effectively into an open area. What you're seeing right now is like the halfway point of the field, like the circle, the line, and everything like that, the center field. It opens out wide to the left and wide to the right. Does that make sense? Like it's an open area. It's not like restricted into a hallway.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, like these are like deeper pockets of. It's all one big cavern.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. I'm with you.
All right, so everybody else kind of comes to you, is like, what's up, Kyle? What's happening?
Yeah, I think Kyle just points down into that cavern, specifically at whatever light source is in that cavern.
Adam kind of like looks out in the distance, like, that seems like an exit, maybe. Sindoran pops in. Yeah, that's odd. I mean, well, maybe not. I guess it's unsurprising that they have multiple entrances and exits in the mines, right? Though, here in particular, you would think they would have mined it out a little bit, right? Maybe this is one of those restricted areas?
Kyle turns to Ford with a questioning look, because Ford is the local here.
I guess his voice is probably changing or something like that, I don't know. Right, this isn't restricted per se, but all I know is that we're generally not allowed here. I'm not sure what deal it is or something like that, but even the explorers aren't, even the guild members aren't normally allowed in this area unless there's some sort of, reason for it. Somebody calls us here. I've never been this hallway, for example. That's why the giant diamond over there is new to me.
Kyle just kind of slowly nods and starts making his way into this part of the cavern, specifically looking to see, have people gone out this exit or come in this way, or is there any sign of activity?
That exit itself is like hundreds of yards away.
Yeah. Kyle's like slowly making his way over.
Gotcha.
Like looking to see if there's anything that's been disruptive, because nothing's been disrupted in that middle part of this cavern. So in this area of the cavern, is there anything that's been disrupted recently?
Go ahead and make another nature check.
Yeah, that rolled off the table. Let's try again. 14 plus 1. Just put myself over the edge there.
Okay. I'll give you a lot of information, and I don't know if things will pop together. Okay, I can tell you this right now. If this helps you in any way, a lot of people at home probably know what's going on. So you're looking in this open area.
Wait, what do you say? A lot of people at home probably know what's going on already?
Already, yes. I will put actual dollar bills down that there's a significant number of people that are listening right now that know the entire gist of what's happening.
Oh, okay. So I'm just lost.
There's a reason for that, which maybe I'll tell you if you figure things out.
Wait, so there's things that people at home know that I don't know yet? Or
there are things that people at home can infer that you don't know yet.
That I don't. Yeah. So like I'm just there. This is either a reference that's hopelessly wasted on me, or I am just dumb.
It's one of the two.
Okay.
Yeah. So you're continuing to walk down this like left side, closer to where the exit is. But again, that's hundreds of yards away. You have to do a good jog for a while in order to get there. A few things pop out to you. Not only are your feet wet, but the walls themselves, as you get closer and closer, start to look more and more wet as well. It's almost as if someone just took a bucket of water and just flung it all over the air.
Okay.
So it's wet. The walls themselves look eroded, I guess is the best way to describe it. They're very smooth to the touch. And again, wet as well. Feet are wet.
So
remind me what you rolled again?
I rolled full success. 15. With like 15 after modifier.
This reminds you of something that you've read before. You've read a little bit about what state are we in? Jesus Christ, Petrum. There we go. You've read a little bit about the Petrum state, and you know that there's the state itself. While it's known for the deserts and everything like that, there are a lot of rivers that flow through Petrum, but they always go through their phases of like having water and then being extremely dry. This looks like all the water in a river has just vanished, and so it's still wet, but like there's no water here.
This was like there was some amount of either like snow melt or rainfall that came through this kind of tunnel in the river or tunnel in the mountain and like eroded it out, and like water was here and now it's just not.
Basically is the best way to describe it. Yeah.
It's odd. And there's no sign of anyone having been around
No, in fact, as you turn around and you're probably a good, maybe like 50 feet away from everybody else who are looking around themselves. Ford is, of course, having an extreme interest in the diamond itself. Sindoran's done sketching at this point. He's taking a look at the right path. Adam is taking a look at the entrance that you just walked in. You can see as you turn around and look at everybody else, their footsteps are the only footsteps that are in this room.
Okay.
You can see that their feet, disrupting the ground and everything like that. Ford, giddy as heck, just goes straight to the diamond without even bothering. Adam hasn't left the pedestal area that you entered from, so he doesn't notice. But Sindoran looks down at his feet and starts rubbing away at some of the dirt that's stuck to his feet.
So, I'm between. I can't tell. Like, I'm hopelessly lost right now, and I don't know which of the two has happened. I don't know whether, everyone was here and got washed out, or whether people were taken farther, I guess, upstream, and their tracks got covered. I don't know which of the two it is, because one of those two things must have just happened to a degree.
Sure, I see the logic.
Which means I'm wrong. That is code for you are hopelessly lost, my friend.
Have you tried phoning a friend? No.
We're back to it. Back to back. I'm not even back to back. Back to back to back episodes of just help.
Of question mark.
Yeah. Okay.
You also don't know what time it is. All you can tell, right? But in case you,
I mean, we've been in a cave for hours at this point.
Right. All you know is that there is light outside still.
Yeah, it's still light out. I don't know whether to go that way or whether to go I don't know whether to try and go to like the source side or the exit side of this cavern. My guess would be the source side. My guess would be we go farther up the right side of the cavern from here. I feel like that's where Kyle's gonna like focus his investigative energy right now.
So you're going the opposite direction for where you were initially?
From where, yeah. I think Kyle, like, he started piecing things together. He realizes there's not like, unless people are directly outside this cavern, there is nothing else for me to learn going this way, and is gonna start doubling back the other way first. Because if they're gonna leave, they're gonna leave out that exit side anyways, right?
Leaving out where Adam is or where Sindoran is?
Leaving out where
Adam's where you entered in from. Sindoran is on the other side of the.
Yeah, no. If we're gonna leave this cavern, we're gonna leave out the way that Kyle is right?
Oh, I see what you mean. Okay.
When you're doing when you're doing a full, like when you're sweeping up a room, right? You're gonna sweep from, the like farthest depths of the inside, and you're gonna sweep on your way out, right?
I see your logic.
Yeah, I think that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna make sure there's nothing in the cavern before we leave the cavern.
Okay. So you are currently heading.
Kyle's like doubling back on.
Okay, so you're heading back.
That he investigated. Yeah.
Ford continuing to look at the pink diamond, trying to. It looks very clear at this point. Ford's like, can I somehow take this out? That's Ford's logic right now. Sindoran.
There's probably something to that diamond, but I'll get to it when I get to it.
Ford's doing that. Sindoran at this point has given up on trying to clean his feet and is just like, okay, doing his own version. He's coming to the same conclusions that you are, more or less. Adam has left the door open effectively to the entrance that you just came in, and is looking back out like, are we sure this is where they entered in from? Yeah, they were here. That's basically it. Yeah, that looks like a Drapion just stabbed a rock. Yep, that's basically it. I don't understand. So that's the situation right now. You're heading towards who?
Sindoran.
So you walk over to Sindoran. Sindoran just turns to you and just like shrugs like, I guess that you coming to the same conclusion I am. It's like a river just vanished or something.
Kyle just kind of nods and starts walking like past Sindoran deeper into the cavern.
Yeah, it looks like it looks like it flows from there. As you continue, it looks like it flows over there out behind us. So be careful. I don't know if.
Kyle nods.
And you continue going. Again, similar sort of thing to what you've got right now, or what you had on your side. This side looks like it goes on forever. It's slightly, you can tell now, I'm going to carry this over from your previous nature checks. You're slightly going uphill. It's not significant, but you're starting to notice it now.
Okay.
If you were to turn around, you could see that now you're slightly taller than Sindoran, even though if you stood next to each other, you're not. Just based on like the slight incline.
Yeah, that makes sense.
continuing to go up, the dirt continuing to be there. It does still look smooth. It still looks like things are going. Your feet are clearly going the opposite direction of how the rocks are, and your footsteps as well look like you're slowly and carefully. It's like a treadmill that's slightly elevated. You're slightly going up, basically.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And still going. You at this point, just continue walking. There's no end, at least in the near vicinity.
Does it seem to go on that far?
If you were to keep walk, you would have to walk for a while in order to reach whatever piece of
Whatever
light is there.
source there is?
Mhm.
Do I do that, or do I just double back and join in with Ford at staring at this giant shiny object that you placed in the cavern at the very beginning of all this?
That's up to you.
That's what I'm wondering. Because
Adam, by the way, at this point has closed the door and is now speaking with Sindoran. You can tell signs of just confusion between both of them. Ford is now attempting, as best a Badu can, to pull the diamond out, seeing if that's successful.
See, this is a point where I kind of want to split the team up, but I don't want to split the team up. Where I kind of just want to ask Adam to check out that diamond that Ford is obsessed with, while having Zendoran follow me deeper into the cavern. I don't know whether that's the play or not, though.
However you want to do this.
You realize how hopelessly lost I am right now, right?
Yes.
You and I both know that. Right now, it feels like you have given me puzzle pieces, and I'm looking at them, and I'm like, these are two different puzzles.
Have you tried turning the piece around?
Bro, I have turned the piece around, upside down, flipped it over, thinking this is a double-sided puzzle. No, I am right now, it feels like you have given me puzzle pieces, and half of these puzzle pieces make a plane, and half of these puzzle pieces make a piranha plant. And I'm like,
exactly.
What?
It's a flying piranha plant.
It's a piranha plant on a plane.
It's a piranha plant on a plane.
Of course.
Duh.
Of course. Why didn't I think of that?
Yeah, it's a joint venture between the Cars franchise and Mario. There you go.
And Nintendo.
Yeah, it's Nintendo and Pixar coming together to make flying piranha plants.
Oh my lord. Yeah, I've really got nothing right now.
I mean, I can force something to happen. I know what's eventually going to happen. It's really just up to...
You know what's eventually going to happen, but I want to figure it out.
Yeah, exactly.
I want to figure it out, but I know I'm not going to figure it out. But I also know, the only thing left to investigate, because you've given me nothing going in either direction, which means you want me to look at the giant diamond, or the giant, pink gemstone.
Is that what you want to do?
It's not what I want to do, but it's what you want me to do, and I'm annoyed.
I mean, no, you can easily just... there is another solution, which is all four... You just hey, all four of us, we're going that way. And then everybody follows you, and we figure out what happens there. Or giant rock.
Yeah. Fine, I'll look at the giant rock.
You walk over to the giant rock. This sounds like I just have everything prepared. Hey, all right, let me pull out these notes. You look at the giant rock. It's,
I know it's... It's almost like you had this lined up from the very beginning of when we walked into the cavern.
Who, me? Never. All I'm going to say, if it looks like a duck, quacks like a duck, and talks like a duck, it's a giant gemstone. What you see in front of you is quite literally a giant pink diamond. It is taller than you are. As I mentioned, it's about the size of Adam, just instilled into the wall. Badu, Ford, our friend here, trying their hardest to pull it out. Shockingly enough, when you don't have arms, it's kind of difficult to do so. And Ford looks at you like, well, seeing as we're stuck here, might as well, try to make a couple bucks, Come on. Bring this back for the guild.
Kyle,
pay for last week's salary.
Kyle just looks at Ford with if you could convey disappointment, Kyle would.
Okay, look, first off, I haven't been paid for last week, so that itself, not ideal. Granted, this whole mission kind of got in the way, but still, not ideal. Second off, it's a giant diamond. Come on, it's a giant diamond.
Kyle just slowly shakes his head, and then starts inspecting the diamond to see if there's anything unusual about it, apart from the fact that it is ginormous.
Go ahead and roll an investigation check.
12 plus 1. I learned something.
Giant pink diamond, you got that clear. It is in the wall. It's clear. You can tell this much. Badu is not going to be able to pull it out. You could get multiple Machamps out here, and they wouldn't be able to pull it out because it is in the wall. The only way you'd be able to get it out hypothetically would be to break the wall behind it, which again would require a bunch of equipment, a few rock type Pokemon, someone to maybe some fire type to seal the thing and make sure that the entire mountain doesn't fall on you. This would be an entire endeavor
to try and take this thing out.
Yeah.
and it looks like it's embedded into the wall. Does it look like it was placed there, or does it look like it is like been uncovered?
It's unclear. It sort of looks like it. The best way to describe it is, looks like it was there. Somebody was just taking a pickaxe and just accidentally hit part of it, and was like, "Oh my gosh, it's there!" And somebody's started to uncover most of it. But now it's at the point where, okay, this not only is giant. If we somehow like took a giant crane and pulled this out, the entire mountain would fall in.
Would just collapse.
Yeah, would just collapse on top of it. So rather than do that, since nobody has the equipment to be able to do it, it seems like it's just kind of in place there. That's the best way you can describe it from.
Or it's been left there.
Or it's been left there.
I don't know what to do with this information because we can't move it. It's not like it's not blocking anything. Like there's no like secret anything behind it, right?
Ford keeps trying to pull on it.
But it feels like there's no point in trying to join in.
I mean, you can always try. I don't know. Up to you. Sindoran and Adam are now coming towards you guys, presumably like, all right, there's nothing else to explore. They're kind of in the same boat that you are. We could go that way for a while, we go this way for a while, or we could check out the giant diamond, because at the very least, it's a giant diamond. That's cool, you know, right?
I mean,
That's
yeah.
Sindoran's logic, at least. Adam's logic is, please, Lord Arceus, take me away from here and actually find the bad guys.
Yeah, no, like, I'm in the same boat, but I don't know. Do I just take everyone and leave? Because clearly, like, this thing isn't gonna budge. This thing has clearly been here long enough that it has no real bearing on
Just rolled a nat 20.
our actual investigation here. Or did Ford just magically pull this thing out of the wall and there is a room behind it with all of his abducted guildmates?
You open up the gemstone, and it turns out it's an entire house with like everybody here making, you know,
The gemstone
chocolate
is
milk.
actually a door.
Ford's pulling on this, and is given up. And it's kind of just like punched it almost, is the best way to describe it. Ford just
Yeah, just in frustration.
in frustration, and you see it shift slightly, and Ford looks very confused. Like, what? Adam's seen this, Sindoran seen this, you've seen this, Ford's seen this.
I think Kyle's
Bowling
gonna
has
give
not
it a
worked.
push.
You push it, and you hear a button click.
Of course.
You hear a rumbling sound.
Of course. Okay. A rumbling sound.
Sound.
Is it coming from the right?
It is coming from the right. I think you have a guess at what it is.
Yeah, we're moving. We're moving.
You start rushing as fast as you can, but you can't, as a wave of water flushes downwards towards you guys, sending you out. You get shot out of the mountain, basically, as this water like pushes you out. The entrance, the exit that you saw so long ago, that was hundreds of yards away, getting closer and closer. And not only closer and closer, it's getting narrower and narrower until it's mere feet, you know, apart from the walls. You could probably touch each side of the wall, until eventually you get shot out like a geyser, I guess is the best way to describe it. Get shot out and start flying in the distance.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm still incredibly disappointed that in my mind, I was like, the giant gemstone, either it's literally nothing or it's a booby trap. And I was just gonna ignore it, and you were like, take a look.
You get shot out of this cannon, effectively, zooming in the sky. You can barely see anything. I have never wanted to be a bird Pokemon, and now I am, and it's terrifying.
And I
Every thought
knew
that's
I
in there-
didn't want to be a bird.
I didn't want to be a bird, okay? I'm a Trico for a Trico reason, okay? You ever seen a Sceptile fly? No, that's the point. Whoosh, fly through the sky in a cannonball sort of way, just land into the ground. Somehow you're awake. I'm not sure why that's the case, but you just kind of open your eyes. That didn't knock you out or anything. You're just kind of like looking around like dazed and confused.
Yeah. A little disoriented considering we were just inside the mountain, and now we are not inside the mountain.
Correct. But you sure enough look around, and you see in front of you 3 folks that are just as confused, just as locked, like awakened, confused. What's going on? As Team AWD is standing right there.
Yup. Okay. All right.
It looks like they've just woken up like, huh, what? And as they've just gotten on their feet and it was about to like head back somewhere, like away from where they were, ding, 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 4 folks just pop in.
Surprise.
Surprise indeed.
Hello.
As,
Hello there.
Team AWD's boss. The Drapion and the Arbok go, boss, and Weavile.
What? Oh, this could be a problem.
well, bye. And Weavile starts, the rest of the Weavile Team AWD start walking away. Adam at this point, literally uses psychic powers, picks up a nearby, like, I'm assuming there's like a few trees here and there. There's like
takes a
Picks up a tree
falling
and,
down tree branch and just plops it into the path.
just like throws it at them, preventing them from moving forward. They turn around and just like,
So, it seems that you're trying to defeat AWD.
you can tell this Weavile, she is very dramatic. Is the best way we'll describe it.
You're trying to defeat AWD, the greatest criminal organization known to mankind.
Adam, like, bruh.
I think Kyle looks over to Adam and is like trying to hold back a laugh.
It's like the joke of like, you know, you look at your friend in the middle of class and just like
that I feel like that's the energy Kyle has, considering just the other night they, like, you know,
fought God.
a legendary Pokemon.
Fought God and lived to tell the tale.
And lived to tell the tale.
Did we win? Sort of, but we did win. Fight, at least. Temper. You get the gist.
The greatest.
And I would have gotten away with it too if it wasn't for the meddling GM.
So you dare to fight us, AWD, the greatest organization known to mankind?
Trapeon turns around. Hey, boss, that's the guy that stole the backpack from Arbok.
Well, you certainly survived. Certainly several attempts at your life.
I don't know. I'm trying to add a lot of S's in there.
But you can't defeat us at the same level of circumstantial situations that you can thoroughly.
It's turning into Sylvester the cat.
Basically, it's turning into Sylvester, but also like your word choice is making less and less sense as you try and force more and more S's into this.
Basically, that's how Arbok is. Arbok is like, I'm trying to be a real snake. And Lady Weavile, who is, I'm gonna say that's how they call it, Lady Weavile.
Silence! So, you think you can defeat us? And who are you? Some sort of mini exploration guru?
Adam just kind of like brushes off some more dust. On the bright side, he's now dust free thanks to that cold shower and stuff.
Yeah.
Hi. I'd like to introduce myself. My name's Adam. Their faces drop.
Yeah. Immediately, it's just like, wait a minute, hold on.
You're not.
This is this is the second moment that we've had of this so far. I'm glad we're bringing him more into the fold of just like it's very clear that he is like ascended beyond celebrity to like almost like a mythical like or legendary Pokemon. It's like, this is someone who does not exist.
Hi, I'm Adam.
Adam, you're not the.
Everyone's just stuttering at this point.
Kyle's just like smirking next to Adam, just like, yeah.
Sindoran, who has kind of finally dusted himself off, is like, oh no, yeah, he's the Adam. Hi, nice to meet you. Sindoran, Kyle, Ford. Ford's still knocked out from.
Why is Sindoran like cheerfully like introducing himself to the people that mugged him and like nearly took his life? Like,
I feel like this is one of those instances of like Sindoran just being like, so I'm. Hi, let me be formal introduction, because I think Adam here. This is like one of those like, oh yeah, no, I'm happy-go-lucky as I try to murder you right now. No, it's fine. I'm Sindoran. Trico over there is Kyle. This is Adam. I think you may recognize each other. Ford's over there. He's another member of the Battle Hammers. And see, I'm not a fan of what you did to me previously. And look, all I gotta say is, if you don't want to play nice, I guess you could play rough. So let's go right here, right now. As Sindoran starts winding up, like, all right, look, I don't know if everyone else is rolling initiative, but I'm gonna roll initiative now.
Sindoran is ready to throw down right now.
Adam just got like
Sindoran just looked at the Weavile and just said, "You can catch these heads."
Sindoran looking like ready to go. Adam just kind of puts a hand out. It's like, so my friend here isn't exactly thrilled about how you've been dealing with him. Sindoran, meanwhile, doing the classic, like, let me at him, sort of thing.
Kyle and Ford are like desperately trying to hold.
Yeah, Ford who's now woken up.
This Pokemon that is so much bigger than either of them, just desperately trying to hold him back.
Yep. Adam just kind of like hands like behind his back, like, well,
So you can either give up now or give up after you lose. Really up to you. I mean,
I'm good either way. Like,
I'm good either way. I'm
I don't-
look,
I-
man,
like, frankly, like, if I don't have to fight you, I'm not going to. Like,
I don't
it's
look,
whatever.
I got a limited amount of psychics as is. Like, I don't want to waste them all right now. You know, your belly's low and things like that. You know, yeah. It's
Y'all aren't worth it. You're not worth it.
I appreciate what you've done. You've been great criminals. I think you're fantastic rap sheet. I mean, look, the Nature deals, everything fantastic. Do I do it? No. Hold up, I was trying to think of something, and
What, were you about to reveal something that, like, would tie a giant, like, tie together, like, two giant plot threads that have been hanging for the entirety of the show?
yeah, but they don't fit. That's the problem.
Because I saw where you were leading that, and I was like, nah,
Well, no, what I was
there's
go-
no
what I was going-
way.
What I was gonna say is that these guys were the guys that robbed the bank way back in Arc 1, but that wasn't the case. That was the Roselia to test out the system that they would eventually use on the garden. So,
Yeah.
I can't do that.
I thought you were pointing towards something else, but something else from Arc
Oh,
1.
the other thing has an answer. I just haven't.
It has an answer. Okay, there is an established answer, and you've been sitting
Yeah.
on this for 2 years.
Yeah. Well, I only had the answer like a year and a half ago, but I opened it up and then didn't have an answer for about 6 months, and then after that,
You had an answer, and now you're
Had an
just
answer.
sitting on that answer,
yeah, because
and it may never be answered.
It has to come up at the right time, you know.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah, gotta be there.
All I'm saying is, the end of at this rate Arc 20, when the show finally comes to an end, is gonna be wild.
We just close all the loopholes at the same time.
Every plot thread is gonna come together at once. It's gonna be like, oh, you thought Hoopa was the bad guy? Nah.
The bad guy was actually
It was Ralph the whole time.
your parents. No.
Uh-oh.
No, so it's like just some random. I guess 'cause I can't think of any crimes we've established that don't have a resulting criminal behind them. No, no, I'm a big fan. Honestly, I mean your Flama endeavors, pristine. He's doing like chef kiss, like pristine, man. I had to work 3 months just to figure out it was you guys. I mean, very impressive. With that said, however, I am going to beat you guys down by myself if I need to. I'm fairly confident that I could do that. You, meanwhile, in the back of your head, like, wait a minute, you don't have other non-psychics that moved. How? But sure, go ahead, do what you gotta do, bro.
At this point, Kyle's not gonna ask any questions. Kyle doesn't want to know.
Yeah, so I got this, man. But it's up to you what you want to do. And unfortunately for Adam, that's exactly what Weavile wanted to hear. It's like,
So, you're impressed by our endeavors. Of course, after all, we've been some of the best criminals in the history of this Alcaz region.
yeah, boss, you tell him.
Yeah, Lady Weavile, you got him. So, after all this, you're telling me I can't... Yeah, I have the opportunity to fight the Adam and guests? Of course I would. Of course I would attempt this. It's an honor, I insist. And if we defeat you, we get to defeat one of the greatest Pokemon in the history of the Alcaz region. And I'm just like shaking his head like, no, this is not how I wanted this to go. Darn it, they're motivated.
Kyle, in the middle, like during this whole exchange, Kyle's just gonna look to see if the bag is just here, and if the battle hammers are here.
The battle hammers are not here. The bag is here.
Okay, cool. All right, that's all I needed to know.
It's with Drapion right now, who's carrying it along with like 40,000 other things in a large like knapsack.
Okay.
And Adam's like, just stares and it's like, okay, we have to, don't we?
Of course we do. It's an opportunity unlike any other.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Adam's like, all right. Turns to you guys. Y'all, you good? Ready to go?
Kyle, I don't know what like rolling initiative would entail in world. I think Kyle at this point just has the look at his eyes of like, I'm already fighting them. What are you doing?
I think
I'm already in this encounter.
Ford just kind of steps aside and allows Wigglytuff to like jump over and like attack. And that's the end of the episode. We'll do the battle next time.
Yeah.
So next time, a battle with Team AWD. I'm going to tell you this now because this isn't spoilers if/when we do this. AWD, if/when we do this. There's a reason why I'll say this. Not the battle. AWD is actually a questionable/criminal team
in the Explorers of Time, Darkness, Sky.
Ah, okay.
I just picked them up and dropped them off here. They just fit the poison theme pretty well.
Yeah. Solid.
That's there. And then the other this is also isn't a spoiler, it's not plot related. This whole giant gemstone in the wall thing, so I think that's also from the Time Darkness Sky thing. At the end of a dungeon that you're exploring, you the player character and the NPC partner head in here, see the giant gemstone, you start trying to pull on it, it doesn't work, you push it and then wave. So I just combined the two things that don't relate to each other in that game, but do in this game apparently.
Yep, you put everything together.
I just fit it all together and steal from other franchises like we do. That is the end of this episode. Next time we do a battle with Team AWD. Who will win? Well, we got 2 poison types and a dark type. Two poisons, 2 darks, and an ice versus 2 grass, part poison, a psychic, a Wigglytuff. Yeah, we'll see how this turns out.
Yeah, this is supposed to be an unwinnable battle, and it will be won in a matter of 30 minutes.
Probably. We'll see how that works. Anyway, thank you very much, everyone, for listening, watching, and supporting in any way, shape, or form that you do. Until next time. I don't know why I paused so much there. Until next time, take care. That's not even, wait, that's not even a thing. It's not even a thing.
Whoa.
I've been recording.
No. You're actually going to cut the episode there, is what you're going to do. I don't care if we redo the outro. You are cutting the episode there, and we are going to all be enraged. And this is where you actually cut the episode.
Probably. That's Muhammad. This is me. Bye.